Hi, everybody. I feel a bit of disappointment today. I feel a bit of disappointment because the epidemic of zombies that are floating around in our nation, the vote blue zombies. I mean, they are the definition of Hillary Rodham Clinton parrots, to say the least. They're parrots. They're parrots, and they're very detrimental to what we stand for, and they're very detrimental to even themselves. But the thing is, they don't even care that they're detrimental to themselves. They don't care that they're detrimental to everyone else. They only believe what the corporate media tells them, and I can't tell you guys how frustrating it is. How I'm not even gonna lie. I fear. I don't fear Donald Trump. I fear them. A lot of them are out here praising. What's up, Breeze? They're out here praising the fact that Julian Assange's email service has been cut off. Ecuador said they don't want him. They don't want him. They don't want him interfering in the elections. So, are you guys? Are you guys actually saying that it's a possibility that the American people may get pissed off at Hillary Rodham Clinton's corruption and don't vote for her? Is that what you're saying? A lot of you people out here, even people over here, even people in the country are saying, well, we don't need you interfering in elections. Are you saying that it's a possibility that we will see something in Hillary Clinton's emails that piss us off to the fact that we don't want to vote for her? We are already there. Of course, real progressives don't support her on any issue. But the fact of the matter is, the Hillary Rodham Clinton parrots, I don't even think it's safe to call them robots anymore. The Hillary Rodham Clinton parrots will believe everything that they're told. They will believe everything that the corporate media tells them. We're dealing with a bunch of nothing's like a nation of zombies marching people off the cliff and pissed off at the or what people that are awake for not following them off the cliff. The people that aren't following them off the cliff are some kind of way to them childish, politically immature. I know I hear the attacks on me all the time. Kendall's politically immature. He's a Bernie supporter. He's politically immature, so now he's supporting Jill Stein. You're damn right I am. I so happen to not follow suit with corruption. Do you guys actually, I don't know, hold your kids accountable when they do something wrong? I'm sure you do. Why? Why do you do that? Right, because you don't want them thinking that it's okay to do that. So why do you think it's okay to let people rig elections, do all kind of nasty, dirty tactic in the book, throw a plan in place in front of you, and then you basically cement that bad behavior by voting for them and letting them know that you're going to vote for them. So in the next election cycle, you're going to have the exact same thing again. The exact same thing. This will not be the last time you see a Donald Trump type candidate run for president. Think about this. The next Donald Trump candidate that's going to run for president, it's not going to be so outspoken. It's going to have the exact same policies as Donald Trump, but it's going to be a lot nicer. It's going to be a lot nicer, and it's going to be more charismatic. Yeah, it's going to be more charismatic. It's going to be more like, to some degree, Hillary Rodham Clinton. It's going to be like Hillary Rodham Clinton to some degree. Hillary Rodham Clinton. He's going to come off as a nice guy. And the establishment is going to continue to push that type person in front of us. And they're going to always make sure they get a neoliberal in front of us that support everything they disagree with. The top 1%. The top 1%. That's what she represents. She voted for the war in Iraq. We all know that. Her Wall Street speeches, we now see why she didn't want to release them in the first place. Because she coddles Wall Street. She coddles the top 1%. And as she also stated, you got to have a public view and a private view. You got to tell the public one thing. I'm going to tell you guys one thing, but we're going to tell the people behind closed doors one thing. I mean, you guys remember I did a video not long ago about how voting for the lesser of the two evils is the most brilliant strategy ever used against us to keep a rigged system in place. Remember that? Remember when I told you guys that, you and I cannot be out here fighting for climate change to keep our planet from burning up for our kids. And she's gonna tell us that she's all for that, but she's gonna go behind closed doors to the fossil fuel industry and say, chill, chill, chill. I'm not really gonna do anything on climate change. I'll just continuously convince them if they don't vote for me, then Donald Trump will destroy the world. And boy, what do you know? When those emails drop, she says you got to have a public view and a private view. So what we've been saying all along is actually true. They called us naive. They called us political immature. But what we is a bunch of woke people that's tired of the BS. A bunch of woke people that don't want anything to do with Hillary Rodham Clinton or her parents. Now, don't get me wrong. If the Donald Trump becomes president, we're gonna need those Hillary Rodham Clinton parents because we know, with no question, without any exception, they will take it to the streets and protest Donald Trump in droves. And we also know that without any exception, they will defend Hillary Rodham Clinton in droves. They will defend her policies 100% of the time, even if it's right-wing policies that don't agree with them. If you had the audacity to stand up to her right-wing policies, you some kind of way are political immature. You are. Think about this, guys. I always have to lead back to this because everything revolves around money. They call us politically immature. But they think that our dollar is tied to gold. Now, it's one thing to just think that because that's what you've been taught all your lives. But once you've been taught the truth, once someone has presented you the truth, then the joke's on you. Ben Franklin once said, and I quote, and maybe I'm paraphrasing some, there's nothing wrong with being ignorant, but choosing to be ignorant and refusing to learn anything any different. We're dealing with a bunch of Hillary Rodham Clinton parents that choose to be ignorant. Choose to be ignorant. You try to tell them about economics, they're getting off the phone with you. You try to tell them about economics, they're trying to shut you down. They're getting off the conversation. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They say, well, I don't really have time to learn about this now. As if that's something that's not important. It'll be important when we slip into another recession because of the lack of putting money in this economy. That's what's going to happen. You guys say we politically mature, but you think that we put wars on a credit card. You think that taxes fund federal spending. You think that we are still tied to the gold standard, and if we print too much money, our dollars will become inflated. You think that we can't have the things that we need to have. You think that we can't have things like universal health care, our climate change bill, free college tuition. You think that. But you also think that bail out the crooks on Wall Street is normal. You think that's possible. You think that's doable. Now who's the one that's politically immature? Who's the one that's refusing to learn anything different? It's not the Jill Stein supporters. That's for sure. It's not the people that support a real progressive movement. That's for sure. Because we support the movement, not the person. Period. That's what it's all about with us. The movement, not the person. You guys are so hooked on Hillary Rodham Clinton, she can push through Medicare cuts and you guys will be okay with it. I'm thinking it's almost to that point. She can talk about cutting Medicare and you guys could be like, well, it is kind of a well thought out plan. She's just going to raise the retirement age just a little bit. I guarantee you, without question, I would almost even bet money on it. That's pretty much what they are. That's what they are. I'm not even going to lie. I hope Donald Trump takes it to Hillary Rodham Clinton in the debate tonight. Do I support Donald Trump? Hell no. But there's nothing more dangerous than what makes it more dangerous? A villain. Let's say Donald Trump is the known villain. Okay, we know where he's at. We know who to watch. We know what to expect from him. Right? But what makes someone really dangerous? When they come off as a good guy. When they have that smile, that little smirk. But their policies don't reflect it. Their policies reflect regime change, the war in Iraq, calling people basement dwellers, calling people living in their mom's basement, with policies that wreck the entire country. Yeah. That's the real villain. That's the real threat. What makes her really dangerous? Not just because of the things she do that makes her dangerous. That's what you guys have to understand. What makes her dangerous isn't just because of the things she does. It's not even just because of her policies. It's because her supporters believe her policies are for the good. That's what makes her dangerous. So she's able to push through any policy she wants with the weight of the vote blues behind her. Walking behind her in sheep. Parrots, because they don't think for themselves. Don't think for themselves. Won't think for themselves. Oh, I don't even know where to go with it. I don't know what to go with it. I'm disappointed in people. I'm very disappointed in people for standing for things they don't agree with. I'm disappointed in former Bernie supporters who once championed a progressive agenda. And now you're out here running around talking about a platform. That's one thing to talk about what the platform is. It's a whole other thing to talk about what Hillary Rodham Clinton's going to actually enact. She's not going to enact hardly any of those things. She's pro-death penalty. She voted for the war in Iraq. Sorry, guys, lost you for a minute. But she's for regime change. The woman is not fighting for us. Hillary Rodham Clinton was not fighting for the American people. She's fighting for herself, the top 1%, and the crooks on Wall Street. That's what she's all about. But good news for us is Jill Stein is still in the race. Good news for us is we're politically mature. And after this election is over with, the fight goes on. Good news for us is we realize that taxes don't fund spending. And we realize the real fight is getting Congress to spend on the 99%. Taxes don't fund spending at the federal level. We're monetary sovereign. We're the issue of our currency, not the use of our currency. Taxes are taken out of the system, deleted out of the system. We only tax to keep the value of money. We only tax to keep up the value of money. Period. We got to stay focused. We have a couple of days left to election, and then the fight really starts. Then the fight really goes on. And no, we're not going to fall in line behind Hillary Rodham Clinton just because we think that, I understand that we have to make sure we flip the Congress and we flip the House. And we're going to do that. But we're not going to fall in line behind someone who stands for everything we disagree with. It's not going to work anymore. Because now there was a movement. There was a movement led by Senator Bernie Sanders. And now people aren't afraid anymore. They're no longer interested in someone telling them they should wait or they're being unrealistic when it's their kids that are dying on the streets. They're no longer interested in someone telling us that we're broke and we're thinking too high. When we realize our country is monetary sovereign, we can't go bankrupt, and we're the issue of our own currency. And we're not borrowing money from China, so stop with the lies. Let's continue to do what they said couldn't be done. As I said over and over again, those before us fought for freedom. MLK's next fight was economic justice. We owe a debt to those that came before us. Let's begin to start trying to pay off on that debt. Let's begin to start respecting ourselves by standing for what we actually believe in. We have to start believing. If we don't believe in something, then what's the use of doing anything? What's the use? There's no point in being a sheep and following someone behind us, following behind someone that doesn't have our best interests at heart. Hillary Rodham Clinton, it makes me sad when I see people hold her up as the norm, hold her up as the standard, hold her up as someone that's going to champion change. The woman represents everything but change. She's not for change. She made it clear during the primary. We was taught that pie in the sky. And wait tonight when you hear the debate. You're going to hear about deficits and debts and how Bill Clinton balanced the budget. But you and I are going to know that he didn't balance the budget. He took money out of the economy, and that led us to a recession. And it's you and I's job to tell many people that it's possible. It's you and I's job is to continue to be educated when it comes to modern monetary theory. That's our fight. Our fight is to get as many people as we can to understand modern monetary theory. And I'm going to continue to talk about modern monetary theory. Period. Because that's where it's at. Our dollar isn't pegged. We have a free floating currency. It is time to get this out to the masses. It's time to tell this to the world. One voice. Your voice can make a difference. Your voice can change the world. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Peace, and I'm out.